are the champions. Pep Guardiola is no longer Man City manager. Mohamed Salah has left Liverpool. Chelsea have Jabi Alonso. Newcastle have new manager. No Bruno Donald, no Bruno Guimaraes, no Sandro Tonali, and no Anthony Gordon. And somehow Tottenham have decided spending 100 millions on Tonali is completely normal. 9 Premier League clubs are starting this season with a new permanent manager. So, predicting this table is probably going to make me absolutely ridiculous by Christmas. But we're doing it anyway. So, I'm going from 20th all the way to the Premier League champions. And there are definitely going to be a few predictions in here that probably people will hate. So, before we start, put your Premier League winner, your surprise team, and your 3 relegated clubs in the comments. And when this video gets revisited in May, please be gentle. Okay, so let's start. 20th, Hull City. I'm starting with Hull. I hate putting promoted teams straight back down because every year there's normally one that makes everyone look stupid. But the jump from the Championship to the Premier League is enormous. Hull have tried to add experience, bringing in players like Matt Targett, Jack Butland, and Hidemasa Morita. But a lot of the squad is still taking a massive step. They surprised anyone, I mean everyone, by getting promoted. I just think surviving would require an even bigger surprise. Prediction 20th. 19th, Coventry City. This one would be a great story if I'm wrong. Frank Lampard bringing Coventry into the Premier League after 25 years away is brilliant. They've added some interesting players as well as including Aurelien Amanda and Caleb Yeringki, but Premier League survival is brutal. I can see Coventry being entertaining. I can see them having some massive days at home. I can also see them conceding far too many goals. They might become everyone's favorite second team, but unfortunately, I'm sending them straight back down. 19th, Coventry. Alright, so 18th, Crystal Palace. Okay. Here's my first prediction. That's probably going to get me absolutely destroyed. Crystal Palace are going down, and before Palace fan comes for me, hear me out, okay? Oliver Glasner has left. Piers Sage has taken over. Maxine Laxroth has gone to Chelsea, and Palace haven't exactly had enormous silver rebuilding. This just gives me that feeling of a club entering, a transition at exactly the wrong time. Every year there's a team that everybody assumes will comfortably survive, and suddenly they're in a relegation battle in February. Palace are my shock candidate. So 18th, relegated Crystal Palace. 17th, I'm keeping Ipswich Town. And that means one promoted club survives, Ipswich Town. I really like some of their business. Dazen Menda is interesting. They've brought in Abdul Fatawu, Elsa Diop, Florentino Luis, and Sasa Lukic. So they've added genuinely experienced rather than just hoping last season's championship team can survive. Gary O'Neill wouldn't exactly be my first choice if I wanted champion football. But for a relegation battle, he might be exactly what you need. It won't be pretty. It'll probably go down to the final couple of weeks, but I'm saying Ipswich will survive. 17th, Ipswich. Hi Samantha. Hello. Thank you. Oh, thank you for liking my Pokemon. I hope you're enjoying, my prediction for 26-27 Premier League. So, yeah. Hi Megan. And please like and subscribe my channel as well. I'm just doing the prediction, okay, for the Champions League. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you want, you can also join my fantasy, Premier League. And I have kept the link into the post. So please join for, just fantasy Premier League as well. Anyway, so I'm down to 16th now. So my 16th place for my prediction is Fulham. Fulham are another fascinating one. Marco Silva is gone and Alvaro Arbeloa has come in. He brought Gonzalo Garcia and Sekar Palacio with him from Real Madrid, while Raul Jimenez and Harry Wilson has moved on. So this could be brilliant, or it could be one of those projects that looks brilliant on Football Manager and takes 6 months to actually work. I think they'll have enough quality to stay away from serious danger, but I can see this being a frustrating transition season. So 16th Fulham. My next prediction is for the 15th position, and that would be Brentford. Okay, Brentford are just one of those clubs I refuse to predict for relegation anymore. Oh, it's so frustrating. Every year, somehow, everybody looks at them and thinks, yeah, surely this is finally the year. And then Brentford quietly finishes mid-table again. They've added Jadon Anthony and Callum Wilson, while Keith Andrews remains in charge after guiding them to 9th last season. I don't think they'll repeat 9th, but I don't think they'll go down either. So for me, 15th is, Brentford. 14th. I would say Nottingham Forest. 14th. Anyway, so Forest losing Elliot Anderson is massive. Man City has taken one of their most important players, and Oliver Glasner is now coming in with his own ideas and his own system. I actually like Glasner as a manager, but changing manager, changing shape, and losing a massive midfielder all at once, I think there will be, growing pains. Not a disaster, just a step backwards. So, 14th, Forest. Anyway, just please like and subscribe my channel as well, and let me know down in the section below, if you're enjoying my prediction. Anyway, now let's do the 13th position, and it's Bournemouth. Okay, another club being completely new era. Areola has gone to Liverpool and Marco Rose has replaced him. Bournemouth are also preparing for their first European campaign, which sounds incredible until you're playing away in Europe on Thursday night and then Brentford away on Sunday afternoon. So, they have added Antonio Silva and Alvaro Rodriguez, but European football plus managerial change makes me think, their league positions takes a hit. So for me, 13th Bournemouth. Now, let's move on to 12th position for my prediction, and that would be Everton. I think Everton would actually be pretty solid this year. Very, very David Moyes. Not spectacular, not terrible, just annoyingly difficult to beat. Hayden Hackney is an interesting signing. Christian Nogard gives them experience in midfield, and Moyes knows exactly how to build competitive Premier League sides. I don't see Europe, but I don't see, Everton spending their entire season looking over their soldiers as well. So, 12, Everton. Let's move to 11th position, and I've kept on the 11th position Sunderland. Okay. Last season, Sunderland were absolutely unbelievable. They finished 7th in their first season back in the Premier League and qualified for Europe. And this is exactly why I'm predicting them to drop slightly. European football changes everything. More games, more traveling, more injuries, and more pressure. I still really like what Regisley Bliss has built, and players like Granit Xhaka gives them leadership. They've also added Thomas Mirion this summer. I don't think last season was a fluke, but repeating 7th while playing in Europe is asking a lot. So 11th, Sunderland. Okay, let me look into the comment section again. All right. Please let me know in the section below, who you're supporting, what's your Premier League positions or predictions are. Anyway, now let's move to the top 10th, of the table. Hi Megan, hi Samantha. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Samantha. That's really cool. And please like and subscribe as well. And I'm just doing the, prediction for Premier League. So if you like the, prediction, please comment down section below. And please, you can join my fantasy as well in the Premier League. So I have the link in my post as well. So please do, join my fantasy Premier League as well. Okay, so I'm down to bottom 10th, prediction. So I'm gonna do the top 10th prediction now. Anyway, so the 10th position I've kept Leeds United. Okay, so here is one of my positive prediction. Leeds makes the top half. Harry Wilson coming in after producing 10 goals and 7 assists for Fulham last season would be excellent business. James Trafford is serious upgrade in goals, and Leeds have some strengthened, defensively. So Daniel Farke kept them up last season. Now I think they just push on. Ellen Road is never an easy place to go, and I think Leeds becomes one of those teams nobody enjoys playing. So 10th, Leeds. 9th. I've kept 9th position for Newcastle United. Right, Newcastle. And this one hurts, because I would love to sit here and tell you we are finishing in the Champions League place. But look at the summer we just had. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes has gone to Arsenal, Sandro Tonali has gone to Tottenham, Anthony Gordon has gone to Barcelona, and Eddie Howe has left as well. And Matthias Jessel is now coming in to rebuild this football club. That's not one change, is it? That's ripping the heart out of the team and trying to build a new one. Now Newcastle have money and they've signed Bazomana Torre, Alaji Bamba, and some really exciting new players, including Sean Steer from Azak. And this is why I've said before that selling Bruno would eventually become a good thing if that money is used properly. Sometimes a squad needs refreshing. Sometimes you have to let one era finish before another one begins. But I think expecting everyone to click immediately, that's just unrealistic. There will be games where we look fantastic, and there will be also games where we desperately will miss Bruno controlling that midfield. So for the first season of this, Newcastle, I'm going 9th. And I really, really hope I'm wrong. Okay. Now, next one, it's 8th position for the prediction. And the 8th I have given to Brighton. Okay, Brighton. And they'll sell somebody you've heard of, buy someone you've never heard of, and 6 months later, Man City will apparently want him for 80 million. And, they've reversed the squad again, with players including Pascal Strujic and Luka Vuskovic coming in. And importantly, Fabian Hartel is still there. That stability matters in league, where everyone seems to be changing managers every 5 minutes. So Brighton, 8th. Let's move on to the 7th one. So 7th, I've kept Tottenham, Hotspurs. And this could either age beautifully or horribly. Spurs finished 17th in each of the last 2 seasons, but they've gone absolutely mad this summer. Sandro Tonali, Matthias Fernandes, Andy Robertson, Marcos Sensi, Jan-Paul Van Hecke, and Roberto Di Debris has now had the opportunity to save the squad. This is a lot of quality, and I'm not suddenly putting Spurs into a title race after finishing 17th, but 7th, I absolutely see this. And Newcastle fans watching Tonali running, in Spurs midfield is going to be painful. So, Spurs 7th. Hi, Samantha. Okay, now let's move to the 6th one, the 6th prediction for the Premier League 26-27. And I have kept Aston Villa. Villa is incredibly difficult to predict. Unai Emery is one of the best manager in the league, and they've got some serious talent. Morgan Rogers have gone, Telemans has gone, Luca Digne has gone, and Amado Onana suffered a long-term injury at World Cup. So they've responded with Garnacho, Johan Manjabi, and João Gomez. So I don't think Villa will collapse. Emery is too good for that. But after all that change, I'm putting them just outside the top 5. So 6th, Aston Villa. So now let's move to the top 5. So before that, yes, just liking and supporting, and yeah, just keep showering the love as well. And please, I have kept the fantasy as well, Premier Fantasy League link, and you can join there, and just you can be the part of the fantasy league as well. Anyway, now let's move on to the top 5 of the prediction for the Premier League. Okay, so the 5th I've kept Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea. Chelsea might be the biggest wild card in this entire prediction. They finished 10th last season. Now, Jabi Alonso has walked through the door, and they've handled him Morgan Rogers, Giovanni Quenda, Maxine Lecoir, Emmanuel Emanga, and even the completely unexpected combination of Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson. Chelsea clearly want more experience mixed into that ridiculously young squad, and I think Alonso will make them significantly better. But going from 10th to challenging Arsenal and City immediately, I am not ready for that far. So Chelsea, I'm keeping 5th. Now to the top 4. I've kept 4th to Liverpool. Okay, this might annoy Liverpool, supporters and fans, but losing Mohamed Salah is enormous, and we're talking about one of the greatest player in Premier League history leaving Anfield. Konate is gone, Andy Robertson is gone, Arne Slot is gone. And, Areola is trying to build a new Liverpool. And I really rate Areola. And, long-term, this appointment could be fantastic, but replacing Salah isn't just replacing his goal. It's, replacing the fear he created, the attention he demanded, and the moments where, Liverpool were playing badly and he just won them the game anyway. So I think Liverpool remains a Champions League team, but this is a transition year for Liverpool. So I'm keeping Liverpool 4th. Now, here are my top 3 predictions. Are you ready for this? Anyway, so I'm just doing the prediction for the Premier League 26-27, and yeah, so I'm down to top 3 now. And if you like, please like and subscribe as well, and comment in the section down below, what do you think about my prediction. And I'm also in the post, I have the Premier Fantasy League, so you can just join there and be the part of it. Anyway, now here comes my top 3 prediction for 26-27. All right, are you guys ready for this? My 3rd place goes to Manchester United. Okay, I can't believe, I'm saying this, but Man United might actually be good again. They finished 3rd season last season, and after Michael Carrick took charge, and now Carrick gets his first full campaign, I really like what they've done with the midfield. So, Casemiro has gone, Tillman comes in, and Santos comes in as well. Suddenly that midfield feels younger, more mobile and much more balanced, I guess. I'm not brave enough to call them champions, not yet, but I think Manchester United are genuinely back in the conversation again. So, Man United, 3rd. Now let's move to the top 2. Okay, so my second prediction. Any guesses? Okay, I'll just, keep quiet for 5 seconds. Just let you, assume my second position. Dum, dum, dum. Are you ready? Okay, the second one I've given to Arsenal. Okay, and now, it's Arsenal, the defending Premier League champions. And they finally ended that 22 years wait. They also reached the Champions League final last season. And then, just to make Newcastle, fans feel even worse, they signed Bruno Guimaraes. Okay, Bruno alongside Declan Rice. I hate saying it. That midfield is ridiculous. They've also added Christos Tilosi, who arrives after producing 17 goals and 23 assists in Belgium, I think, last season. So why I'm not putting them first? I think because defending the Premier League is incredibly difficult, and Arsenal aren't chasing anymore. They are being chased now. So teams will prepare differently for them, and expectations have changed. And there were moments towards the end of last season where Arsenal looked exhausted, and increasingly reliant on set pieces and grinding games out. The Sky Sports model actually has Arsenal as the favorite to retain the league. So statistically, this prediction might already be stupid. Oh well, but I'm going against it. So I think Arsenal will finish second, which means, dum 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 again, the first would be Manchester City. Okay, I'm predicting Manchester City to win 26-27 Premier League. And this isn't the City we've known for the last decades, because Pep Guardiola is gone, Silva is gone, Jones is gone, AK is gone, and Akanji is gone as well. So this means this is a proper rebuild, but they still got Erling Haaland, but they also got Ryan Jerky, they got Antonio Semenyo, they got Jeremy Doku, and they've got and then they've gone and spent a club record 116 million on Elliot Anderson. Oh my God. Anyway, Andrew Makasa knows Manchester City. He understands the footballing philosophy of the club. And sometimes after one manager dominates for so long, a completely new voice can actually energize the squad. So this isn't going to be Pep's Manchester City. And that's exactly why I find them so interesting. I think Arsenal will push them all the way, and I think United will be hanging around longer than people expected. But when we get to May, I'm predicting Manchester City to be Champions League champion again. Okay, so now my final table, my final table for 26-27 Premier League predictions is: first would be Manchester City, second Arsenal, third Manchester United, fourth Liverpool, fifth Chelsea, sixth Aston Villa, seventh Spurs, eighth Brighton, ninth Newcastle United, 10th Leeds United, 11th Sunderland, 12th Everton, 13th Bournemouth, 14th Nottingham Forest, 15th Brentford, 16th Fulham, 17th, Ipswich Town. And my last three for the relegation teams are Crystal Palace, Coventry City, and Hull City. Okay, all right. There it is. 20th teams, one champion. 3 teams going down, and probably about 15th prediction that are going to make me look like an idiot by January. You know, my biggest gamble, I would say Crystal Palace getting relegated. My surprise package, Leeds getting to the top half. And as a Newcastle fan, 9th might seem negative, but after losing Bruno, Tonali and Gordon and changing managers, I think this season is less about Newcastle finish and more about whether we can successfully build, next Newcastle team. And if I'm wrong, and we're gonna finish 4th, trust me, I'll happily take the views. So, but now I want yours. Let me know, in the comment section down below, who's gonna win the Premier League, who gets relegated, and most importantly, which prediction in this video is absolutely horrendous. Let me know in the comment section down below, and please subscribe if you enjoy the video. And because we are going to come back to this table at the end of the season and see how badly I got it wrong, well, we'll just come back again. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for being with me and love you.